Hey, how you doing out there? Welcome to the special edition, a wild card weekend in the National Football League just passed, and we're going to talk about it right here on the McManus Webcast. Man, wild card, been in a few of those, sir. I just love playoff football. Every play counts. Every play counts, and you screw up, you can screw up the entire game, which then screws up your team, and everyone's pissed off at you. So it's high flying, it's hard hitting, and man, there were some great games this past weekend. Went 3-1 in my picks. I did pick Green Bay. I did pick. Actually, check that. I went 2-2. That sucks, man. That's terrible. Let me start this thing over. I'm just kidding. Went 2-2. I did have Cincinnati, and I did have Indianapolis in the upset. I did pick Seattle going into Washington. That was a good pick, and of course, Green Bay rolling at home. With or without Ponder, I think they win. No disrespect to Christian Ponder, but I don't think he's that much of a difference maker at the quarterback position. Joe Webb looked out of place. So you got to keep it in perspective there. But I think Green Bay feels like they're the team that nobody's talking about. They're talking about Atlanta. They're talking about San Francisco. Nobody's really talking about them. By the way, I have Green Bay in the Super Bowl, and I think they get it done. Of course, got to have Matthews Jr. back full speed, which they did this past weekend. But, look, Green Bay's tough at home. They came to play. Aaron Rodgers and company look good. They go out to San Francisco. That'll be a tall order, but I'll give my picks on that later in the week. You look at the other NFC game, Seattle and Washington. Let me get this out there about RG3. Look, this is what went down. Okay, RG, you hurt your knee again. Yes, I did. How does it feel? Well, it hurts. Okay. What do you need to know? Well, am I going to hurt it anymore if I go back out there? Yeah, you may not. It's up to you. You're not going to tell a professional football player that he can't go back in when he wants to go back in. Now, the head injury is different because you just take their helmet away, and if they can't think right or remember or anything like that, I can understand that. But it's his body, it's his leg, and you know what? It's his decision. So, and when they were up 14-0, nobody was giving him grief about that. So credit Seattle for coming back. Look, he did re-injure it. He wasn't at full speed. It worked for a little while, and then they got after him, and obviously that second half. Wish RG3 the best of luck. He'll be fine. Even if it is a torn ACL, he'll be fine. It was kind of gruesome. They're complaining about FedEx Field. I think that had something to do with it. But, hey, let's not take anything away from Seattle. Marshawn Lynch, what a beast. Man, did you see how he picked up that fumble with one hand? It was like a pebble. And he just kept running. It was incredible. His run down the sideline for the touchdown. Russell Wilson out in front. I like what Seattle's doing. I can't say enough about Russell Wilson. He is my rookie MVP in my book. I think he's outplayed both quarterbacks, that started all throughout the year, and then, of course, in the opening round of the playoffs. But Seattle comes away victorious, 24-14. They do lose Chris Clemens. It's being reported now that he has torn his ACL, and it looks like he'll be done. He'll be shelved for the divisional playoff round against Atlanta. In Atlanta, going to be a tall order there. Again, I'll give my picks later on. Cincinnati and Houston, what a kind of a snooze fest. What a boring game. Cincinnati, Jay Gruden, got a question for you. Why'd you wait till the third quarter to go to A.J. Green? I mean, why'd you wait? You didn't throw to him till like 10 minutes in the third quarter. Makes no sense to me. You didn't keep him off balance. You couldn't do anything. Look, Cincinnati, you're that team where you got a lot of talent, a lot of young talent. Next year, you better get to the playoffs and win. Obviously, that's the end result, what we're all looking for in the National Football League. Houston, defense played great. They came to play and got after Andy Dalton, pretty much shut down the running attack of the Bengals, so give them credit there. They go to New England. That's going to be a tough one. That's going to be real tough. I got actually I don't have New England in the Super Bowl. I got Denver. I know I kind of want to pick New England, but I think Denver's kind of destined, and it's really their defense over Peyton Manning. I think Peyton Manning and Tom Brady are going to do great against one another. Of course, they still have to win this upcoming weekend to meet each other. But I think Houston's going to have a tough one up there in Foxborough. Indianapolis, you put up a ton of yards. You did. It was a bend don't break defense for Baltimore. And then they didn't let you in the end zone, holding you to 9 points. That is very fantastic. Joe Flacco, a lot of people questioning you going into here. Not that you're not a good quarterback, because you are, but, can you carry the team? Can you make all the right throws? Well, you and Torrey Smith, man, and Pitta, you guys got some great stuff going on there, man. That's going to be a great game out in Denver. I think you may meet your match, but we'll see what happens. Ray Lewis, last home game in front of the hometown crowd. That's pretty incredible. 17-year career. I believe he is the greatest middle linebacker to play in the history of the game. It's tough to not say that. A very complete player, never leaves the field. There's one thing about being a run stuff and, linebacker that can stop the run. It's a whole different story. We're talking about staying out there in nickel and dime, blitzing, making hits on the QB, playing, making plays in the passing game when the ball's in the air. So Ray Lewis, fantastic career. Hopefully for you it keeps going. We'll see what happens. I will say this. I'm not going to miss the dance. I just don't like the dance. Whatever. You do it. It looks like WWE. It looks like a World Wrestling Federation or whatever they call it now. Production. The grass laid out there. You put on your party. I don't know. I know a lot of people wanted to watch it. They said even the Indianapolis Colts watch it. It's interesting, though. He finally said the name of the dance, called the Squirrel, that he got from a guy in high school. And the guy in high school said, "You'll never do it," and he ended up doing it. Or maybe it was at the U. But nonetheless, cat's out of the bag there. But, hey, great player. I'm not going to bag on it too much. I just don't like the dance, especially pregame. But your fans like it, so, that gets everybody jacked up, I guess. I don't know. Good for you. You're a great player. You can do whatever the hell you want, I guess. You really are a fantastic player. And as a guy that played linebacker for 5 years in the National Football League, to triple that and then some, it's just incredible. 17 years. And a first-round pick. That's hitting on a pick. I'll tell you that right now. That's getting your money's worth for the organization, isn't it? So hats off to you, Ray. You're fantastic. I hope one day I am able to meet you. But should be a great remaining of the playoffs, without a doubt. And now the stakes are even higher. They get their check. It's not all about the money, but it's free money. I'll never forget Jeff Lageman telling me in '96 when we beat Buffalo in the Wildcard game, he's like, "Hey, that's free money, man. You're not expecting that money. It was like 13G." And you're like, "That's pretty awesome." And a Boyer, 2 lockers down, Brant Boyer, who's now coach with Indianapolis, saying, "I'm going to buy my first motorcycle and this and that." So that's cool. It's an exciting time, but now it's one step further, one step closer to Super Bowl 47 in New Orleans. I'll be down there in New Orleans. Very interesting, very exciting stuff. I got booked to play in the Wounded Warrior amputee versus NFL alumni flag football game. That'll be Wednesday night. Doing a book signing at the World War II museum there in New Orleans, and then Thursday and Friday hitting Radio Row with some veterans from World War II. Obviously, my father being a World War II vet, as we all know, so that's great stuff. And looking forward to all of that. The Super Bowl, man. I wish I could explain it. I just never been there. Came close a couple times, but it is a fantastic time of the year, and especially if if your team is in it. Some coaching hires. Andy Reid goes to Kansas City. I think it's a good hire. Doug Marrone, a little bit of a surprise hire. 4 years at Syracuse after spending time as an offensive coordinator with the New Orleans Saints. He gets a head job at the Buffalo Bills. And, hey, good for him. Good for you, Doug. You're a former player, and looks like you do it the right way. So hats off to you. The Jacksonville Jaguar fans, it seems like we're further away than we've ever been to the Super Bowl. We'll see with the new hire. David Caldwell looks like he's a favorite out of Atlanta. We'll see who he brings in. We'll see if the head coach remains. Of course, you got You have to upgrade the talent. Andy Reid says he's got to find the next Len Dawson to be his quarterback. I'd like the next Mark Brunell, who, by the way, congrats, Mark. Way to get that job at Episcopal High School, the new head football coach right here in Jacksonville. That's great stuff. Wild Card weekend in the books. A great weekend. A great weekend of football. And I tell you, every play counts. I don't know what's more exciting, playoff hockey or playoff football. I think with hockey and the ice, that thing can take on a life of its own. With football, you just better make the plays or somebody else will. And it's a great time. I'll give my picks later on in the week. It is January 7th, 2013. Happy New Year to you out there. More to come right here on the McManus Webcast at SuckItUpUSA.com. Hug the ones you love. Tell me love them, because you never know what tomorrow is going to bring. Until next time, everybody, suck it up and be great. And have a good one while doing it. All right. Talk to you later right here on the McManus Webcast.